I shouldn't be telling you this, but 78% of NFL players go bankrupt within 2 years of retirement. The same reason lottery winners end up poorer than before they won. The same reason trust fund kids destroy empires their grandfathers built from nothing. And Machiavelli saw this coming 500 years ago. He wrote about it in a chapter of The Prince that modern publishers tried to bury. Because what he revealed about new money threatens the entire self-help industry. Listen, there's something more dangerous than poverty. It's sudden wealth without understanding the laws of power. Those aren't my words. That's from Machiavelli's suppressed letters to Francesco Vittori in 1513. Everyone thinks Machiavelli wrote for princes and kings. Wrong. His most dangerous insights were about what happens when ordinary people suddenly gain extraordinary power. And what he discovered changes everything about success. Because the mistake that destroys new millionaires isn't what you think. Not overspending, not bad investments, not even trusting the wrong people. It's something that happens in your brain the moment you see that first comma in your bank account. Stanford neuroscientists just proved what Machiavelli suspected. When your wealth increases rapidly, your amygdala, the brain's threat detection center, literally shrinks by up to 23%. Think about that. The very success you worked for makes you neurologically incapable of protecting it. This is why Mike Tyson lost $300 million. Why MC Hammer went from $33 million to bankruptcy. Why 70% of wealthy families lose their fortune by the second generation. But I need to know if you're ready for what comes next. Your brain doesn't just lose threat detection. It develops what psychologists call optimism psychosis. You start believing you're invincible, that the rules don't apply to you, that your success proves you're different from everyone who failed before you. Machiavelli called this the fortune's fool paradox, and he noticed something terrifying. The wealthier you become, the less capable you become of seeing the very patterns that will destroy you. Remember Elizabeth Holmes? Before Theranos collapsed, she was worth $4.5 billion. She wasn't stupid. She was experiencing exactly what Machiavelli predicted happens to every person who gains power too quickly. She stopped listening to criticism, started surrounding herself with yes men, began believing her own mythology. This isn't a character flaw, it's neurological inevitability. When money floods your system, your brain releases dopamine differently. You literally become addicted to agreement. Criticism feels like physical pain. Your neural pathways rewire to seek validation instead of truth. And what I'm about to share next, this changes everything. Machiavelli developed a test. He called it Specchio del Principe, the prince's mirror. Every morning, ask yourself 3 questions. Question 1, who benefits from agreeing with me today? If you can't immediately name 5 people who profit from telling you you're right, you're already infected. Question 2, what truth am I paying not to hear? Every wealthy person has purchased ignorance. They hire lawyers to say yes, accountants to hide problems, friends who need their money more than their honesty. Question 3, when did I last change my mind because someone poorer than me was right? If you can't remember, you're already dying. But I need to know something. Are you ready for the solution that billionaires don't want you to know? The Medici family ruled Florence for 300 years. Want to know their secret? They practiced what Machiavelli called deliberate degradation. Once a month, the head of the Medici family would dress as a commoner, walk the streets, eat peasant food, sleep in cheap inns, not for humility, for intelligence. Power creates a bubble. And bubbles don't just distort reality, they hide the very threats that destroy you. The Medici knew the only way to keep power is to regularly experience powerlessness. Ray Dalio does this. Once a quarter, he flies coach, stays in 2-star hotels, eats at truck stops. Warren Buffett still lives in the house he bought in 1958. Not because he's frugal, because he knows something you don't. The moment you separate yourself from ordinary reality, you begin the countdown to your destruction. This is about you, your future, your survival. Roman generals had a slave whose only job was to whisper in their ear during triumph parades. Remember, you are mortal. Modern millionaires need the same thing. But instead of a slave, Machiavelli suggests something more powerful, the cabinet of enemies. Here's exactly how it works. You pay 3 people who genuinely dislike you to meet with you monthly. Their job? Tell you exactly why you're going to fail. Not constructive criticism. Brutal, hostile truth. I personally know a tech CEO who pays his biggest competitor $50,000 a year just to tear apart his strategies for 2 hours every month. His company? It survived 3 recessions while his competitors collapsed. Coincidence? Machiavelli wouldn't think so. Every morning, before you check your bank account, do this. Close your eyes. Imagine losing everything. Not as fear, as preparation. Visualize the repo man taking your car, your house in foreclosure, your credit cards declined at dinner. Feel it. Breathe through it. Accept it. This isn't negative thinking. It's what Navy SEALs call stress inoculation. You're training your brain to function without the drug of wealth. Once a week, do something that money can't improve. Push-ups until failure. Cold shower for 5 minutes. Fast for 24 hours. Walk 10 miles. Your body needs to remember, you existed before the money. You can exist after it. Once a month, go somewhere nobody knows you're wealthy. A dive bar, a community college class, a bus ride across town. Don't network. Don't mention your success. Just exist. Listen to how normal people talk about rich people. It's terrifying and necessary. But here's the part that will fundamentally change how you see wealth. Machiavelli's final insight wasn't about keeping wealth. It was about something much darker. He discovered that every fortune contains the seeds of its own destruction. Not metaphorically, literally. The very strategies that make you rich program your brain for poverty. Watch this pattern. Entrepreneurs succeed by taking risks. Wealth makes them risk-averse. They stop innovating. They fail. Investors succeed by seeing patterns. Wealth makes them overconfident. They ignore new patterns. They lose everything. Creators succeed through hunger. Wealth satisfies hunger. They stop creating. They become irrelevant. The fortune you're building isn't your servant. It's your assassin, and it's been planning your murder since day one. But I found one exception. One family that broke the cycle. The Fuggers, German bankers who stayed wealthy for 400 years. Their secret? They treated wealth like a parasite. Every generation had to earn their inheritance by first succeeding without it. No trust funds until age 40. No family jobs until you'd succeeded elsewhere. No safety net until you'd proven you didn't need one. They understood what modern millionaires don't. Wealth isn't an achievement. It's a test, and most people fail it. Here's exactly what you need to do. Week 1, 4. Document your current decision-making process. Track every yes man in your circle. Identify 3 harsh critics you've been avoiding. Week 5, 8. Spend 1 day weekly at your pre-wealth income level. Take public transportation once a week. Eat 1 meal daily that costs less than $5. Week 9, 12. Schedule monthly brutal feedback sessions. Join a group where your wealth means nothing. Find 3 people who succeeded where you failed. This isn't about humility. It's about survival. Listen, wealth isn't bad. It's dangerous. Like fire, like power, like love. The difference between new money and old money isn't breeding or education. It's understanding this truth. Every fortune is temporary. Every empire falls. Every winner becomes a loser. Unless you remember what Machiavelli wrote in his final letter. The prince who understands his mortality rules forever. The prince who believes his immortality dies tomorrow. So I'm asking you directly, are you building wealth, or is wealth building your coffin? Take the Machiavellian mirror test tonight. If you can't pass all 3 questions, you're already dead. You just haven't stopped breathing yet. But you can change this. Starting right now, this knowledge found you at the perfect time.